2035, NASA aims to establish a sustained human presence on the moon through the Artemis program, a sprawling base that could house thousands of astronauts and fundamentally change our species forever. But China is racing to beat NASA and their international partners there, and the country that controls the moon's south pole will control the future of human civilization. The race isn't really about national pride. It's about water. There are trillions of gallons of ice sitting in a permanent shadow in the moon's south pole craters, enough to fuel humanity's expansion across the solar system. Here's why that changes everything. Water splits into hydrogen and oxygen, rocket fuel. Launch from the moon with 1/6 Earth's gravity instead of fighting our massive gravity well, and suddenly Mars becomes achievable. China figured this out years ago. Their missions weren't just flag-planting exercises, they were reconnaissance. Their Chang'e 7 mission, launching soon, will specifically target the South Pole to map those water deposits. The stakes couldn't be higher. International space law from 1967 prevents countries from claiming lunar territory, but it says nothing about exclusive resource extraction rights around a permanent base. Think about it this way. Whoever builds the first refueling station at the moon's south pole controls the cosmic equivalent of the Suez Canal. Every deep space mission, every asteroid mining operation, and every Mars colony ship might need to stop there first. The economic implications are staggering. This is exactly why NASA accelerated Artemis. The program went from "Mayai, maybe we'll get back to the moon someday," to "we're building a city there," almost overnight. But the construction timeline reveals something remarkable about how we'll actually live on another world. The Artemis base won't be built by astronauts in spacesuits swinging hammers. It'll be constructed by an army of robots before humans ever set foot there. Phase 1 begins with uncrewed cargo missions supporting Artemis 3. We're talking about excavation robots that can dig through lunar regolith at 20 times the speed of previous rovers, and 3D printing robots that transform moon dust into concrete, stronger than anything we use on Earth. The robots work for 2 years in complete isolation. By the time the first Artemis astronauts arrive for their stay, an entire infrastructure network will already exist. Landing pads made from melted regolith, pressurized storage, and even a basic life support system, generating oxygen from lunar ice. Phase 2 begins immediately after the first crewed landing. While astronauts conduct surface operations, cargo ships autonomously arrive carrying prefabricated habitat modules. The construction robots never stop working. The base expands underground, using natural lava tube caves as ready-made foundations for pressurized cities. Some of these caves stretch for miles and could house tens of thousands of people. SpaceX's Starship makes this entire timeline possible. Each Starship can deliver over 20 tons of cargo, more payload capacity than every Apollo mission combined. But while NASA robots are building humanity's first lunar city, China is preparing something that could change the entire balance of power in space. China isn't just sending robots, they're planning to send entire factories. While NASA's Artemis program focuses on building a sustainable research base, China's strategy is centered around immediate industrial capability. Their planned missions will deliver lunar resource utilization technology, essentially a complete mining and processing facility that can operate autonomously. This creates an interesting contrast. The moon contains helium-3, a fusion fuel so energy-dense that a single cargo ship full could power the United States for an entire year. The moon's surface contains over 1 million tons of the stuff, enough to fuel humanity's expansion into the solar system for centuries. While NASA is studying how to extract these resources as part of long-term goals, China has expressed immediate interest in helium-3 as a potential fusion fuel source. NASA's approach is to build the foundation for scientific discovery and sustained presence. The Artemis Accords have brought together an international coalition, including the European Space Agency, Japan, and India. Even Russia, after its recent mission failures, has partnered with China. This competition drives urgency, pushing NASA to execute an ambitious timeline that serves as humanity's stepping stone to the rest of the solar system. Here's what nobody talks about regarding lunar construction. The moon is trying to kill everything we build there. Lunar regolith isn't just moon dust. It's microscopic glass shards, sharp enough to slice through spacesuits and clog every mechanical system. The Apollo astronauts discovered this the hard way. Eugene Cernan described it as almost like you've been sandblasted. NASA's solution is to build primarily underground and inside natural lava tubes to protect against radiation and micrometeorite bombardment. These aren't small caves, some are over 300 feet wide, but the real engineering nightmare is the temperature swings, ranging from 250 degrees in the sun to minus 250 in the dark. NASA's answer involves 3D printing systems that use lunar regolith to create structures stronger than reinforced concrete. The underground portions use inflatable habitat technology that expands to create pressurized living spaces the size of airplane hangars. The rock overhead provides natural radiation shielding. Power generation presents another challenge. Solar panels work during the day, but for the 2-week lunar nights, NASA is developing small modular nuclear reactors to generate continuous power. It's a harsh environment that shapes every decision, but it also reveals why the race to establish a permanent presence will determine who controls the next chapter of human expansion. The first permanent residents of Artemis Base will face psychological challenges that make Antarctic research stations look like summer camp. NASA's behavioral health studies reveal that even highly trained astronauts begin experiencing lunar adaptation syndrome after just 30 days. Difficulty sleeping, disorientation, and an overwhelming psychological pull to return home. The Artemis base design addresses this through Earth-normal environmental psychology. Habitat modules include full-spectrum LED lighting that mimics Earth's day-night cycle, and underground sections feature massive digital displays showing real-time views of forests, beaches, and cities. Physical health is equally serious. Lunar gravity at 1/6 Earth, normal causes muscle atrophy and bone density loss rapidly. Every resident must spend hours daily in exercise modules using resistance equipment to simulate Earth gravity. NASA's medical research facility within Artemis Base will conduct studies impossible on Earth. How do wounds heal in low gravity? Can humans born on the moon ever adapt to Earth gravity? This isn't just about keeping people healthy. It's about understanding how human physiology adapts to permanent life beyond Earth. But the most crucial aspect of making Artemis Base livable long-term isn't medical. It's the birth of a new economic reality. What we're witnessing isn't just a new space race, it's the birth of a multiplanetary civilization. The winner of this lunar competition won't just control the moon's resources. They'll determine whether humanity's next chapter unfolds as international cooperation or superpower rivalry. The technology being developed for Artemis Base today will carry our children to Mars and our grandchildren to the asteroid belt. And somewhere in those lunar lava tubes, the first baby might be born who will never know what it feels like to live under an open sky, yet will help humanity take its next giant leap into the infinite darkness beyond. Subscribe for more space exploration deep dives.